Is Michael Saylor about to cook Bitcoin? Uh-oh is the name. Well, uh-oh is the saying. But Saylor, he was on CNBC, and they asked him, what are you going to do if Bitcoin drops to X amount? He said, we'll refinance. And wait till you hear his answer. A lot of people watched that video and got worried a lot. We have big news coming out of the Hedera camp. FedEx joins the Hedera Governing Council. What does this mean for Hedera and for FedEx? Big Chainlink partnership with Polymarket. I'm currently in a Bitcoin trade. I'll reveal which side I've traded on. And Charles Hoskinson. Mr. McDonald's. Gina, roll the intro. What's that? How y'all doing today? I tried to wait for Rob. He's not here. Rob's not here. He'll pop in, I'm hoping. We'll see what happens. I want to make the show. I want to give a big shout out to my kid. So this dude decided to start a YouTube channel 23 days ago. He literally posts almost the same thing. And this is a very interesting case study because it tells you that no matter what you post, as long as you're consistent and you post, he's gotten 630 subscribers in 23 days. More than we ever got in a single 30-day rolling period in our first year of doing the channel. So I told him I would chill his channel. If you guys want to support my kid, here's his YouTube channel, Cheese Army. Let's get him up to 700. Let me go ahead and I'll post a link there. If you want to help support my dog, do me a favor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, well, well. Come on in, man. Come on. Grand entrance here.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Hey. I didn't do the hola thing, but I said hi.
Yola.
Yeah. So big shout out to my homie over there. He's super excited. He's dancing in the back. All right. We're trying to get the Cheese Army up here.
Okay, for sure.
He's got 600 subscribers in 30 days.
There you go.
All right. Let's start with Monsieur Saylor. That's Michael Saylor, for those of you that don't speak some weird French language. So this was interesting, okay? And this had a lot of people biting their nails, picking their nose, or whatever you do when you get nervous. I don't know who picks their nose when they get nervous. That was very weird. But anyways.
Yeah, we know what you do. Okay.
I definitely don't pick my nose when I'm nervous. So, Saylor, let's take a listen.
If Bitcoin falls 90% for the next 4 years, we'll refinance the debt.
Refinance where, Michael?
We'll just roll it forward. I mean, again.
But yeah. you think banks would lend to you at that point?
Yeah, because the volatility of Bitcoin is such that there's always going to be value. Look, you're at 68,000 right now. Literally has to fall to 8,000. Then we just refinance the debt. If you think it's going to zero, then we'll deal with that. But I don't think it's going to zero, and I don't think it's going to 8,000 either. But the credit risk is de minimis at this point.
So, very simple question, right? Who is going to refinance your debt?
You know, there's all these interviews that he's been on, and there's always these kind of oh, well, what are you going to do if this happens? And they talk about the miners and the next bit proposal and quantum computers coming out. And what does that mean? Sometimes you just need a lady just to ask the most simple question. Be like, hey, who's going to refinance your debt?
Who's going to want a piece of that pie?
Yeah, at this point, if you're underwater billions of dollars. Remember, most of his buys are to the tune of $500 million, or at least the ones here recently this year or in the last 12 months. Most of the Bitcoin buys that Strategy has acquired are to a tune of $500 million to $1 trillion, if not more. And we know how many buys they have. They almost have 1 million Bitcoin at this point. And you got to ask yourself, if you're underwater, if your average buy is at 70,000, if you're at an $8,000 Bitcoin, you're down over 90%, which means you're ultimately going to be down trillions of dollars, right? Mathematically, yes. Wow. So if you're down trillions of dollars, then at this point you got to ask yourself, like, who is going to refinance that debt? Who's going to take that much that much risk? And also, I mean, think about it. I mean, the sentiment on Bitcoin currently at $70,000 or $69,000. That right now, the temperature on the room is that Bitcoin is toast. I mean, we saw the fear and greed index get to 5. Never even been down to 5. And we're at 69,000. So if this thing were to drop another 90%, if this thing, like we're not talking lows from 2022. We're talking about prices that go back to 2020, to the COVID crash. And so ultimately you got to ask yourself, like, if we saw those prices, I mean, the sentiment in the market has got to be so fraught that, like, there's no way a bank would come up and be like, you know what, we're going to bail out Michael Saylor.
If anything, it'll be like blood in the water.
Yeah. Then, like, I hate to say it, but
we'll buy your Bitcoin for...
and she's kind of spot on. You know, the look on her face kind of says it all. She's just looking at him like, brother, who the fuck is going to buy your debt?
Look at that look.
Who is going to refinance? Let me see.
The new look of that. What?
You like zoom it. Can you?
I don't think I can zoom. Well, maybe I can zoom in like this.
It's that confused, like worried, like what? What are you talking about? What the hell? I've seen Gina give me that look many times. She's like, what are you doing over there?
Better. The lip goes up. So yeah.
That's that. What the fuck are you doing? Look, like what in the hell? What in the hell?
Yeah, and then he just rambles some words that I've never heard before, and here we are.
And then anyway, so he got caught way off guard too. He like,
yeah. Usually the interviews he does, the questions are very.
Yeah, and then he didn't. He was like, he said, what was it? So his answer was like, who's going to refinance the debt?
He said, well,
who's going to take that risk?
Volatility in Bitcoin.
The volatility. What does volatility got to do with refinance? At what point what point? Okay, for those of you that have filled out a loan application, let me ask you, when you fill out a loan application for a car, or you're refinancing your house, or whatever it is, you got a loan application. At what point in any fill in the blank or multiple choice or, fill this column, is there volatility? That is not a part of an application. Volatility is not in question. Volatility is not something that you look at and say, you know what, there's a lot of volatility here. Let's approve that one. Like, no. And so he sounded kind of like a fool saying that, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Anyways, that was interesting. This could be the great unwind if there ever was one. I'll say this. It's a nice thought experiment for us to sit here and talk about what would happen if Bitcoin got down to 8,000. The reality of it, though, it ain't going to get that low. The reality of it, could it possibly get down to 8,000? The answer is always yes, right? You can always sell further down. However, there is a realm of possibilities and there is a realm of likelihood and there's, market dynamics. And the likelihood that this would actually get down to that range is just so unlikely that it's funny for us to talk about it, but ultimately, I don't see it happening. My bigger question would be not at $8,000, but what would happen to MicroStrategy if people were selling their stock, if the market were to go down to, say, 29,000. I think that's something that's a little bit more realistic, or 24,000, something like that. If Bitcoin were to get to there, if there was going to be an immense amount of pressure and firestorm around MicroStrategy and his company, I would be more curious to see what would happen at that point versus an arbitrary number that they throw up at a meeting, at a earnings call, right, and say, hey, 8,000. Yeah, that's the number. Because it's probably not 8,000. It's probably something higher. It's probably too many limiting factors, outside limiting factors that, you know, can't be accounted for, right? And with that said, I'd be curious to see what happens to MicroStrategy if it were to fall. But ultimately, I'll close out my statement here and just simply saying, Bitcoin ain't going to 8,000. It's not going to 10,000. Could it drop down some more, down to 20 to 30? I think that is something I think is somewhat likely. I don't think we even get that low. But with that said, I don't think that MicroStrategy will unwind. It's just more of a comical thought experiment. But it is a reality. So don't completely dismiss it. Right? Yeah, don't completely dismiss it.
That's how you get caught off guard. Is never say never. Sorry. Someone said you sound like a teenage girl talking or something like that.
Who?
So I'm going to find it right now. This guy, Delson13. This guy talks like a teenage girl.
Delson. Got my eye on you. Got my eye on you.
Exactly what a teenage girl would say.
That's right. Don't make me get my brother out here to beat your ass.
Make me get my other teenage brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't cross the line.
You're about to cross some lines.
The line.
What a great movie that was, right? Tropic Thunder. The best one-liners in the history of movies.
The one movie that can never get replayed again on any streaming service because, well, they got too much cancel culture in there now. It was made in a day and age.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it was made in a day and age where you could get away with blackface and what else did they go in there? There was a lot of cocaine usage. There was
crawfish.
There was.
I was banging about the patio. What a great
like
movie.
Everything that you can't do now in the movie industry was done in that one. Yeah. Like from top to bottom, they got all of it. You know, they got the gay slurs. They got like they literally were just like, what could get you canceled? And then they just like checked every single box on the way down. It's just like,
well, that was before cancel culture.
Yeah, nowadays, like, yeah, it's kind of like the Disney movies. You know, the Disney movies where it's like you're like watching those things. Hey, you know what? Like, stop cutting things out. Just leave it how it is, man. You know, history's history, whatever. It's a learning opportunity for you to be like, look at how ignorant these people were back in the day.
True that.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what? Our former presidents, the first 10 of them had slaves. It's just the reality of it. Let's not try to like pretend like history didn't happen, you know?
We got to learn from it.
Yeah, learn from it. Same thing with Bitcoin, man. Let's not pretend that Bitcoin don't drop 90% and that's what normally happens. Pay attention. Don't try to erase the past and then live in some utopian future where you try to pretend things that didn't happen. And yeah. See, now I'm talking like I'm 16 years old.
Now you have no idea what you're saying, and I have no idea what you're saying. I want to share this by Walter Bloomberg. Bitcoin's 60K level seen as liquidation trigger. Bitcoin faces a key test at $60,000 with options and loans suggesting a breach could spark forced selling and sharp volatility. Deribit data shows the largest cluster of put options pays off below 60K, near the 200-week moving average at 58K, a crucial technical support. Loans tied to Bitcoin would automatically liquidate collateral if prices dip, potentially triggering a cascade of deleveraging. Bitcoin traded around $67,000 on Friday, down 47% from its October peak. Analysts warn a break below 60K could push it to 50, with the second highest put option interest, open interest lies. Open interest in 60K puts totals $1.24 billion. So people who think the price of Bitcoin will continue to go down at 60K, there's around $1.24 billion of value there. Market sentiment is heavily bearish. Experts say a sustained drop below 58 could fuel another 20% correction. And so before I ask you, I asked Gina. Gina, please roll the stake ad. Thank you. Want to give a big shout out to our channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by stake.us. If you want to have some fun, win some free stake cash, play some games, download the stake app, create a stake account, and once you're in there, redeem your free stake cash.
David.
Hi. Why are you yelling at me?
Let me ask you. Yeah.
Are you okay?
No.
You're delirious, aren't you?
Oh man, if you understood the things I had to deal with last night and this morning, my God.
You look very.
Dude, I am just. Yeah.
Okay.
Life sometimes is funny. But anyways, let me ask you.
Ask me.
Do we got anything left in the stake account? Because we need to go and we need to go have an intermission at some point and go have a little fun.
Yeah. I'll get back to you later on that.
A little plinko action.
Yeah, the answer is no. So, yeah. But, Rob, 60K is, I mean, from a number standpoint, that's what the level of Bitcoin. What's your kind of seeing what we're seeing? We're seeing a rally up to 69.2.
I think the rally is the problem.
The rally is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Ultimately, you want to bottom out. The quicker you get to a bottom, the better, right? And why do I say that? Because you can only drop so many percentage before you get bounces, right? And, at some point, the market will step in and say, buyers will step in and be like, hey, this is grossly undervalued or it's extremely oversold, and I'm going to come in and buy, right? And so ultimately, when you get these large bounces, and now remember, we did get a candle wick down to 59,000 briefly. I mean, we never really traded under 60K, but the market went down there, and then it bounced to the tune of 15% to where we're at currently. So Bitcoin is up 15% from where it kind of went down and tested. And so ultimately, you can kind of look at this scenario and say, hey, man, Bitcoin's bounced back 15%. So what does that mean? You got a bunch of traders, a bunch of people, you have believers and traders and, Bitcoin maxes. Anyways, people are stepping in and they're like, yo, Bitcoin's back. They're putting in their positions. They're putting in their longs. And, well, they're gearing up to incentivize the smart money to push the price further down, to liquidate and take advantage of people that are trying to make money on the upside. Now, as liquidations happen, when you fall dramatically from one price point to another, the liquidations start cascading. But ultimately what you're seeing happening is that the order books and positions are getting removed. They're just quickly getting removed. And the depth of the order book, it's not like there's millions of people that are sitting here like, I'm going to put a buy for Bitcoin at 62,000 when it's at 70, right? So as you keep going down, it quickly drops because there's just no depth there. And so now, right this moment, because of the bounce, people are putting in their positions again. There's still a lack of depth down there at sub 60K. And if we were to get more liquidations, I'm just fearful at this point. We got the fuel for it to drop down again.
Yeah.
Now, what is the remedy to that? If Bitcoin to break above 70K, get to 72, get some bullish news behind it, maybe the U.S. buys or announces they bought, and the Clarity Act passes. I don't know. Maybe a couple crypto exchanges go public, and there's a lot of things on the horizon that you could point to. And if you start just kind of adding these on as Bitcoin's price accumulates and gets above 70K, cool, we're good. Kind of look in the rear view and be like, wow, that was, we had double topped or triple topped or whatever it was for the market cycle. We went down, we went to 68,000, kind of spooked the markets, and here we are back to above 100K. That scenario could happen. However, if we don't break over 70K, we got a lot of fuel for this thing to ultimately collapse. And I do think that is more likely the scenario, and I do think that's what's going to happen. And the fact that we had this little rally here, I think is really just trying to set people up, right, to get in these long positions. I would mind you, we're at $70,000. This is an immense resistance area. I think we might just straight bounce off of this thing and then reverse down. And then
at 70?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's a round number.
And I would be very curious to see where we're at on Bitcoin come Monday. I'll kind of leave it at that, man. I'm a little anxious. But there's a lot of bullish news, man. You hear about Brazil.
Oh yeah, that's a bill though.
Is a bill?
It's a bill that hasn't
Proposal?
been approved. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Brazil. Basically, just to sum it up, Brazil's looking to do a strategic reserve where they could potentially acquire 1 million Bitcoin or attempt to acquire 1 million Bitcoin. And so I know that's a narrative that we've thrown out a lot this year, basically saying like, hey, supply shock. Countries are going to buy up, all the Bitcoin. Remember?
Yeah.
U.S. holds a ton of Bitcoin,
Yep.
over 200,000 Bitcoin. Those are through forfeitures and seizures.
Might be a little more than that now, I think.
And then you got China. China owns a lot of Bitcoin as well. But then you got El Salvador, who's actively buying 1 Bitcoin every day. And then, potentially Brazil comes in. Bill passes. I mean, it's still a very bullish scenario.
Economy in South America.
Yeah.
So I told you guys I'm in a trade. I'm currently in a short. Now, I jumped the gun a little bit. And what I'm eyeing here is a 1 hour. So a couple things. One, massive rally. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive green hourly candles on Bitcoin. Rob, this to me looks like it's topping, right?
That is definitely rounding out.
Right. Also, Anchor Wave. Anchor Wave's printing a green red dot on Market Cipher B with a baby blood diamond. Now, again, I did jump the gun a little bit. I was underwater on this trade for maybe the last 10, 15 minutes.
Have you ever seen, I don't want to say ever, but how many times do you see big green candles rounding top and then it continues further up?
Correct. Yeah.
It is so unlikely.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's impossible, but the likelihood of it getting that candle pattern there
and then
coming up, rounding out, and then not pulling back and then continuing, very rare.
Yeah, and we're not being too greedy. I'm not being too greedy on this trade. I'm bringing it down to our kind of VWAP and Market Cipher ribbon. I think number 1 here. Candle just closed, guys. VWAP is rolling over. Anchor Wave stayed. I think RSI is about to roll over here. And so if you want to follow us on the trade, we're currently in a Bitcoin short. Our entry was 69,036. You can get a better entry than I did. And so that is where we're at. And we're looking to target 68,559 for this is a $250.
And pull that thing down, bro. Get greedy, man. Take that thing down to
So what?
67.
67. And we're going to place our stop loss right above the last wick high, which if we somehow go up there, that would be invalidation. We'll take our L and we'll move on. And so we're officially in the green by 26 cents, a whole quarter. But I feel pretty good about this. So you're saying, my initial reaction was there's obviously momentum, right? This last hourly candle session, the volume closed higher than the previous. The green dot of doom has shown its face. Guys, this is one of the most, if not the most accurate reverse signals.
The green dot of doom, huh?
Green dot of doom.
Is that actually what it's called?
That's what me and Brendan call it, yeah.
Okay.
And especially after a purple triangle, you can pretty much lock this in that it's going to reverse. Not to say that it might not give us a push to the upside. With that being said, I'm actually going to give myself a little more leeway here. I'm going to hide it above the last 2 wick highs. And so we expect this thing to roll over. We might have to remain a little patient on this one. We might see it go underwater. Maybe this thing runs back up to like 69,320, 69,350. But ultimately, I think our TP does hit. And in fact, I do think I'm going to move my TP down to closer to 68, the low 68s. We'll go 68,340. That'll give us a $370 profit. Nice little scalp on the day to go into the weekend. A little Valentine's money. Brandon White gave a $2 super chat, said, now that we have stable coins, why do we need XRP?
Bro, I've been saying that.
Well, we've always had stable coins, but
no, we haven't always had. That was my whole point. I've had that conversation many times recently, and remember this: when Ripple launched XRP, when that came out, there was no stable coins. So I liken it to a time where we had DVDs And there was really no streaming services at that point in time. And then someone's like, hey, here's Blu-ray. At the time, Blu-ray made sense, right? Like, wow, this is an upgrade from these trash-ass DVDs. You could put like 3 movies on this thing. I remember taking a CD. We were playing Final Fantasy. And I don't know if y'all remember playing Final Fantasy 7 back in the day. But the game was on a CD or whatever it was, or DVD. Anyways, you had to get like 3 discs to play one game. You had 3 CDs to play one game. Now, you obviously throw all of it on one Blu-ray. It's way better technology. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter how good the technology is if you don't need it at all.
True that.
Right? Now you need a Blu-ray. Who has got a Blu-ray player? Put a 1 in the chat if you got a Blu-ray player.
Well, does a PlayStation count?
Yes.
Okay. Then a 1.
But don't trick me here, bro. I got momentum. I'm making a point. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you got a Blu-ray player. Put a 2 in the chat if I got my Netflix, Amazon. I don't need that crap. And YouTube, obviously. So, anyways.
Someone said Ripple didn't launch XRP.
Who launched it? What kind of weird conspiracy theory you got going on here?
Also, can I give a shout out to Gina? This is great. This is great, by the way.
What is that?
What is it called, Gina? Wire Meyer? The wire.
Just called a tangle.
Tangle wires.
Tangle.
And really helps me stay on track. Yeah, Gina's got one too. She's passing them out like it's hotcakes. Also, shout out to Gina's mom for baking some delicious rainbow cookies. Thank you, Mom. Okay.
So, anyways, ultimately, even if you got a 1 in the chat, you're not going to Best Buy and buying.
A lot more ones than you thought, huh, buddy?
Okay. All the people that have 1s, hear me out. If you wanted to watch the new Iron Man movie or the new, I don't know.
Tropic Thunder?
Tropic Thunder. You want to go watch a movie? Are you going to go down to Best Buy and pick up the Blu-ray version? No, you're not. We all know you're going to just stream the damn movie, okay? True. So with that said, there's no need for the Blu-ray player. It was superior tech during a time where you couldn't put media on these old format CDs that efficiently would hold enough data. And so anyways, at a time, circling all this back around, at a time when XRP first came out, there was no stable coins. You had Bitcoin, you had Litecoin. You were like, how am I supposed to move money internationally? These networks are slow. In comes XRP. Hey, we can move money internationally between banks. Great. But then now, you know what? Now there's new technology. It's stable coins. The fuck you need XRP for? I mean, honestly, somebody talk to me here. Because you got, if you pivot and you say, hey, you know what? Let's put RWAs, let's tokenize everything. We'll put it on RippleNet. That makes sense. Cool. If that's your prerogative. But if you're going to come at me with this antique mind thinking or mind games here and say, central banks are going to use XRP to move money in, no, they're not. They're not. You know what they're going to do? They're going to use the Ethereum network, Solana network, whoever it is. They're going to use Chainlink to facilitate it all, and they're just going to move stable coins from one to the other. That's how money's going to move, not through XRP. It's just the reality of it. I hate to break the news to you.
You're lucky Forrest isn't here.
Yeah.
I'm just checking some real quick.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I got the Bitcoin chart here. I was trying to think. I had something going out here. I remember I pulled this up for a reason. I don't know what the reason was. But once again, I'll just point. Rounding out top. This is like when do you ever see this? Like it's just very rare, dude.
What,
you
when
know,
you see
rounding out top, and then
I mean you can.
It's highly unlikely. Especially, I would look at the macro move here, like what ultimately is happening. Because when you go back, say to the daily chart, and you take a look, I mean the likelihood of getting a reversal here is just the likelihood of getting a reversal here is just quite unlikely. So.
Yeah. What do you say? Oh yeah, our audio engineer also trades crypto. I love that. Little does he know that's exactly why we hired him, not for his audio, but for his trading.
Yeah.
Shout out to JP.
Yo.
Okay.
Gotta get JP a microphone over there.
We do gotta get.
How you audio engineer and you ain't got no audio?
Shame on you. All right. I want to talk about this. You said yesterday, can we talk about Michael Saylor? Yes. Can we talk about Charles Hoskinson?
So the industry's not healthy. Shit is getting real, you know? We got no liquidity. A lot of people are sad. Twitter is just a nuclear dumpster fire. Sentiment's at an all-time low. And that's okay, because the thing is that despite the fact that the micro looks bad, the macro is just saying we need to have a new paradigm, a new vision, new narrative. So the industry's not healthy. Shit is getting real, you know? We got no liquidity.
So, Rob, number one, rate the attire 1 through 10. Number two, do you agree with Charles?
First of all, why are you dressed up in the McDonald's outfit? Okay.
What, you don't think it's fun?
Charles Hoskinson is the founder, leader, I don't know, the man in charge, the face of a multi-billion-dollar crypto Cardano, a household name, supposed to be the financial replacement. You're supposed to come in and facilitate Wall Street, and you're coming out here dressed in a McDonald's outfit. I understand what he's trying to do here. He's trying to be comical, but if you want to be taken seriously on Wall Street, you want to be taken seriously when it comes to institutions, and you want to replace traditional finance and be like, what you doing, bro? You know, it's like, are any of the CEOs out here dressing up in costume for any of the large publicly traded companies that handle our money? Think about that. Give me one company outside of crypto that handles our money where the head figure, the CEO, the main guy is out here dressing up in costume.
I mean, Trump did it. How you gonna hate on Charles and not Trump?
But he actually took a job. And you know what? He wasn't a costume. The man literally, the man literally clocked in. He filled in his W-2. He went into work. He worked the fryer station. He was over here. He's putting in work. It wasn't a costume. My man said, you know what? Put me on the fry station. Let's go.
Raindrop, drop top.
But anyways.
Cooking a coconut crock pot?
Right, don't you agree? Come on,
you just, I've come to find out that you are now among the Hoskinson haters. You've been hating on the man a lot. Hating on the man a lot. He ain't perfect, but he's not.
It's not about, okay.
He's not top 5.
So what was it, last week or a week and a half ago, 2 weeks? I don't know, whenever it was.
2 weeks.
Charles Hoskinson said, I was watching Sin City Crypto. And basically saying we don't understand it. He made a reference. He made a reference that because the price is down, we now hate the project, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately is what he was trying to say. He's trying to say that hey, price is down. What am I supposed to do? You know, it can't always be price go up. No, it ain't about that.
No, because I said, oh, they said they have a pith integration. I want to wait and see. And he said it's the sentiment that's causing people to say stuff like that.
Basically, he's trying to say that we're fueled because the price hasn't gone up. Yeah. And let me tell you something. Let me fill you in on something. It ain't got to do with the price, man. You're number 9 on the market cap list. Number 11 on the market cap list with $9 billion market cap. You are a huge cryptocurrency. I don't think for a second that your price is down. You're a pretender. The problem with Cardano is stemmed with the users on the network, the dApps, and how many people are actually using Cardano on a daily basis, and what is the growth curve and the adoption, the TVL, the DEXs, and the sheer lack of stable coins has been a problem. You got USDC X or whatever it is. That's a progressive move. It's good. I'm not saying that like you're doing nothing, but I'm just saying that like, hey, there's a major gap there. There has been a major gap, and you've been around for so damn long. It's just frustrating that we haven't gone past this part yet. This is this is year 3 to 5 in cryptocurrency land. This is things that Solana checked off a long ass time ago. And you guys have been around
for a decade.
Yeah, for a decade. And it's just like why are we still having this conversation?
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a whack chain.
Okay, now we're turning into Coinbase. What the fuck are we? Wow.
I'm sorry. I'll take that back, man. I take that back. I can't say it's a whack chain. My bad. I got carried away.
You made a lot of money on Cardano.
I did.
How about thanks, Charles?
You know what? Like and I'm a believer, man. I'm a believer that this ship will turn around. However, it's not around the corner.
I want to give a shout out to Dr. Payne. I think that is such a good piece of advice. Charles needs to hire someone to run the business side of it. He can focus on the tech. I agree. They need marketing. They need to reach out. They need to identify who their user is. Reach out to them.
They need Tether. They need Tether.
They got Circle. Okay, that's good.
They need enough. They got
They need Tether.
They got Wrapped Circle. They don't even have real Circle.
Yeah,
they got Wrapped Circle.
Listen.
You're gonna sit here and be like, we're gonna be the king of DeFi.
Listen.
How are you gonna be the king of DeFi? How are you gonna run DeFi on Bitcoin?
Because of
you got Wrapped Circle.
Rob, it's because of they're not your typical blockchain, bro. They're UTXO. Yeah, so it kind of had to be USDCX, but it's the same. Like the end user doesn't feel the difference. Okay.
Yeah.
So all of this stuff happens on the back end, the conversion from X to actual USDC.
Still need Tether.
Okay, sure.
Die on that hill.
Let's talk a little bit about Hedera. Hedera video coming out later today. ICP video also coming out later today. Global logistics leader FedEx has joined Hedera. Rob, 15. Do me a favor, actually. Google. How many shipments does FedEx handle every single day? Do you know the answer?
Will it make you go
just
out
type
and buy
it in.
Hedera?
Type it in.
Will our viewer go out and buy Hedera?
Will you just type it in? Please.
Ask somebody in the chat.
I said please. No, you. Please. I beg. Okay. FedEx brings deep operational expertise to help advance trusted digital infrastructure for global shipments. This will help.
Good.
Fucking Scrooge over here. This will help securely verify shared shipment data across organizations and in borders, reducing friction in cross-border commerce. The future of supply chains is on Hedera. What are you guys laughing at back there? Oh, yeah. Yeah, whoever said that. Yeah. Okay, you can just literally just put in Google, bro. Nothing is ever easy with you. How many shipments does FedEx handle every day, Rob?
Working.
Don't we have a FedEx?
I'm working on it. I am doing an immense research here, okay?
You're literally asking ChatGPT. Thank you, D. Jenny from the block. God, you are literally using.
Hold on. I'm doing. You need this. You need these analytics, bro. You cannot make a sound investment without deep research. And so,
all right, Open Claw.
You know, if we're gonna scratch the surface by knowing how many packages, we need a lot more than that. And so,
I just wanted the number.
No, you want more. You want analytics and data.
I want the number.
Yeah.
Okay, 16 million packages per day. They are now part of the Hedera Governing Council. Rob, I think this sends. Hedera to probably $1 tomorrow.
It was 4%. I looked at it this morning.
I think this is great. We always talk about what's your shtick as a L1 or as a crypto project. Hedera has been clear cut, man. They're after legacy giants, and they're looking to work with them and build products and services for them. Cool.
I'll just say one thing though. The problem is that Hedera has too many large corporations that are on the governing council. And so for that reason, it doesn't hit as hard anymore when they get a new one because they already have like so many other good ones, right? It's like if if a guy is in high school and he happens to sleep with the hottest girl in school, if he was like, you know, first time in the game, you know, that's his first girl, then everyone's like, bro, how'd he do it? But if your dude's out here just slaying one after another, and he just puts another check mark on the wall, then, you know, it's not that big a deal no more.
You are definitely not okay today. We'll give you a pass for today, okay?
ChatGPT is still doing research, by the way.
I'm sure it is. Good job.
It is. Look, here.
So, Rob, remember yesterday?
So I said, give me the most data and
over
information as possible on FedEx. At least 15 pages of information.
Shut the fuck up. We're not
It is
doing
more.
that.
I'm giving you.
Gino, we're not doing this. JP, if he starts to ramble, cut his audio.
Look at this.
I don't care anymore. It's over. It's done. What is wrong with you, bro? Okay. Do you remember yesterday?
It's creating a footer and header right now.
Do you remember yesterday off air, we talked about Anthropic and how much money they raised in the valuation? Right? 30 billion for 8%, right? It was a 360 billion valuation. Well, do you remember one famous person, Rob, who actually had a lot of money invested in Anthropic? It was none other than Sam Bankman-Fried. Look at this. They invested $500 million into Anthropic back when Anthropic was just a nothropic. Today, that stake would be worth $30 billion because they raised that amount right there. I talked about it. That's nearly $28 billion in missed upside. Rob,
what happened to their
$28 billion in upside. Listen to this. FTX's bankruptcy hole was $9 billion. So if they would have just stayed solvent for a little bit longer, they could have plugged that gap, and FTX would probably be the largest, if not, I mean, they were number 2, I think, or 3. They would probably have surpassed Binance for the number 1 crypto exchange. It's just crazy. That cucumber-loving Sam Bankman-Fried, and no, he's not vegan. Is he vegan? Okay, I don't need a ChatGPT breakdown of why he's a vegan.
We're good.
Okay. Subscribe to the Cheese Army. Thank you. What are you doing? Okay, I'm literally about to end the show.
Okay,
Can you
go.
comment on this? You're finding the picture of him eating a cucumber.
Yeah, man. I don't know where the cucumber photo is. Such a good one.
Such a good one, huh?
Yeah. This guy, man. Look at him.
He looks like the weirdo in the movies that hides behind the fort.
Still freaking loading, man.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, guys, that'll do it for the show today.
We'll come back on Monday. We'll give you the full breakdown on FedEx. Its history, its analytics, how many packages are delivered
Monday's
internationally, globally, here in the local Clark County, Las Vegas region. Everything you want to know on the next episode of FedEx and More, Sin City version. Yeah, that's it.
Sin City Crypto. Cash is Cuvée. Yeah. Sin City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control